Alright guys, so today we're going to tackle this 2012 Chevy Sonic 1.8 liters thermostat. Now, down here it's going to follow this hose. It's going to be this thing right here with the little Torx heads on them. First thing you're going to need is you're definitely going to need the new electronic thermostat. Now, you can get them at a parts store for 80, 90, 117 bucks. You can go to Chevy to get them. It's probably going to be around the same price. I just ordered mine offline for $30, so I just looked around and found a good deal on one, so I figured, hey, you know what? Might as well replace it since it's sending a check engine light on in my car and it is keeping my fan on constantly. I can turn it on right away, and then 4 seconds later it turns on the high speed mode, so that's only supposed to kick on when the engine gets to a certain temperature. But for this, what you're going to need is you're going to need a ratchet. You're going to need a size 10 star bit like that, just so you can see it, a size 10. A flat-headed screwdriver to go ahead and pull this hose away from the original housing. You're going to need pliers too to grip this little, basically, clamp away. That way you can pull the hose off. Now there's a couple different ways you can attack this. Some people like to remove the excess tank to get more room. I'm just going to leave that in place. I'm going to go around it. Make sure the car's off, make sure it's not hot. My car's a little warm since I just went and got the socket. Definitely going to need some antifreeze after this, because you're definitely going to leak some out. And make sure you keep a bucket under your car because it's going to leak. I went with a 50-50. You can go with straight antifreeze if you want. If you already have antifreeze in your system, that'll probably dilute it enough to make it, sustainable. But yeah, let's get on into this. Now with the new one, as you can see, it looks exactly the same. You got a little rubber washer there. It's got a little cover over the sensor cap. I'll try to get the actual website for that and add it in the link. That way you guys aren't going to the parts store spending like $100, $120. But yeah, alright, so once you get in here, and obviously it's hot, once you get the clamp removed back, just go ahead and twist the hose, or you can use the flathead screwdriver like I was using to pry it away at first, because it's been on there for a little bit, so it's not going to go away very easily. And then slowly just twist it, and eventually it'll just pop off. Oh, like that. And now what I'm doing is I'm going around these sensors, spilling antifreeze everywhere, and I'm trying to tuck this hose in between this opening between the battery box. That way it stays out of my way. Alright, and then you're going to want to take the oxygen sensor line, move that. Now you have enough free space down there to get into it. It's pretty warm in there. Let's see. Also, it might benefit you a little bit to get a rag. That way you can wipe your hands off. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get down here, and there's 4 of them. There's one here. There's one here. And then there's 2 directly below it on the same side. So there's one up here, one down there, one on this side, and one on this side. I mean, you can definitely see. I'll try to get you down in there so you can actually see it. You got one there, one down there, and then the same thing's on the other side. I can't get in there. And then once this is off, I'll show you how to take this tab off of the sensor itself. Alright, let me get to that, and then we'll get right back in to unplugging that sensor. Okay, so now I got the old one out, and as you can see, I mean, you can't really notice anything different about it. I mean, it looks pretty much normal. The gasket still looks pretty good, honestly. But when I was taking it out of that slot, I did notice that on the black housing itself, you have to loosen up 4 of the screws on that as well. There's one there, one here, and there's one below this and one below this. It's pretty easy. Basically, there's the tab that holds all the harness wires. You loosen that up with the 10mm nut. That's a normal nut. and then you just push that bracket forward, and then you just loosen these up. Do not take them off, because there's probably a gasket, another rubber gasket, so don't take them off. It should still seal up perfectly fine, unless you want to go all out, and then in which case you could. But let's take a look down in here and see what the inside of that looks like. As you can see, it's pretty grimy in there. But yeah, so now with the actual sensor itself, what you got to do is you got to get up underneath of it with a flathead screwdriver and just pry it off. So there's where that flathead screwdriver comes into play again. So basically just get up underneath there, you just pry on it. There's also a tab there too that you can use, but this thing is not wanting to cooperate. Plus doing it with one hand is actually really difficult. I'll try to do it in the camera for you guys. There you go. And then you got that connector. See, it has a little tab on it, so when you're pulling back on it, go ahead and try to set that screwdriver underneath of it. But alright, so the thing I did want to go over really quick, since it's not going to be very much longer on the video, there's a little pin on it. They actually made it so you could swap out the sensors themselves, but that wouldn't do any good if the actual mechanism that's controlling the thermostat goes out. But the new one is set up the same way as well, so you no longer need this one. Alright, I'm going to get this one ready, and then we'll go reversing the process. Okay, so on the new sensor, you're going to notice there's a sharp end tab, and then there's like almost like a half moon style tab on it. Now when you plug the sensor in, the old thing, basically the tab is going to go to the sharp end, and then that's going to match up with the half moon bracket on the other side. Alright, I'm going to get this all hooked up, start tightening it back up on that end, and we're going to go from there. Alright, so we got the new sensor in. I didn't finish tightening down these bolts yet because I still have to tighten down the side bolts for the black bracket that it ties into. But another key pointer, before you put this new bracket on, make sure you wipe down the black plastic where the old one sat against it. That way you know you have a free and good seal against it. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten up the black housing. I'm going to tighten up the new electronic thermostat itself. As you can see, we got it all plugged in there and everything, and then basically take it from there. Okay, so now we got everything done. We got everything tightened back down. Got the new sensor electronic thermostat in. Only took us under 7 minutes. If I wasn't filming, probably 5 minutes. You got that all straightened up. Now all you gotta do is fill this thing up, put the cap back on, start your car. Once it runs this out, go ahead and just keep the cap off it and watch it. Just keep watching it. It'll slowly let the air out of it and fill it up as needed. As you can see, there's a min mark and then the max mark for the tank. Like I said, fast, easy. A dealership's probably going to charge you about $200-300 to do it. They're going to say, oh, the part costs this, we have to air out this, all this and that. Now if they add in different, coolant lines or something like that, obviously the price goes up. Like there's one coming from the firewall down into, one from the radiator straight back into the support itself. But for the most part, the hoses look good on this, so I'm not even going to tackle that. The main part was clearing that check engine light out of it, so the high-speed fan doesn't stay on. If you thought this was helpful, go ahead and leave a like. If you want to see more videos on this, or also I got built up 2 scooters too, so it's kind of cool. But if you want to see anything else like this, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Definitely share my content on Facebook. That way, my name gets out there a little bit and get some more subscribers. That way you guys can see more of this stuff. If you have any comments, questions, go ahead and ask them in the comments below. But that's about it, honestly, you guys. And that is how you change the electronic thermostat on a 2012 Chevy Sonic. Now it's going to work for the 1.8s, 2012 all the way up to 2016. And yeah, I mean, the turbo model should take the same electronic thermostat, but I'm not 100% sure. I never really looked too much into that. And if you want to get torque specifications on how to torque it down, I'm more of a hand tighten kind of guy because I got the feel for it for the most part.